Let's get it.
Enigmatic Joker.
Ray, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Are you ready? Are you ready? It's time!
Welcome back to another Tuesday night episode of Tech Q&A with yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where We are engineered to win. How is everyone doing tonight? Hopefully everyone is doing well as we continue through our week. We started the week off yesterday and we are moving on. We are tomorrow. Tomorrow is hump day. Yes, it is. But for us tech savages, we don't have weeks. We just continue. We just continue to push forward, continue to grind until we reach our goals, and then we keep going. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. Like I said, this is Tech Q&A. Welcome. How is everyone doing tonight? Let me know in the chat how it's going. How is your week going? We are doing some amazing things. So, we're going to get into it. We have questions. You can call in. The link is pinned in the chat and I will be dropping it. It'll be circulating in the chat as well throughout the night. It's also in the description. I will be dropping it as well, but we're going to get started. We are going to get started. So what are we going to do first? Let's get into our agenda for tonight. Let's get it. And let me pull up our agenda. All right. How do we start off? How do we like to start off? I have to start off saying thank you to all of the subscribers, the newly subscribed people who are helping the channel grow, those who have been with me for a very, very long time, who they're so dedicated to our cause and to the mission of getting this amazing tech news out there. So shout out to all of the subscribers. And as always, a big shout out to the tech savages. Yes, the tech savages. I need to get a sound for the tech savages. I gotta think about it. I gotta get a sound. But shout out to the tech savages. Those are the tech barbarians, the coaching group, those that I work with one-on-one, helping each one of them level up in their technical skills and in their careers, helping them with their resumes. I worked on an impressive resume this morning, if I must say so myself. But yeah, helping the resumes get right, getting you ready for interviews, how to search for jobs, how once you land the job, how to maneuver within to elevate and win. All of those, all that stuff we work in the Patreon with my tech barbarians, my tech prodigy. I'm always communicating with the technical explorers to see how they're doing, sending them messages inside the Patreon to make sure they are headed on the right track. So shout out to the Patreon members. Shout out to the tech mercenaries. The tech mercenaries are the YouTube members. They are just very shifty and moving around, just getting things done. And of course, we will never, ever forget. Shout out to the bag chasers. Always doing their thing. And of course, I always have to acknowledge for my guy, Yakar, the leader of the Tech Pookies chapter of the Tech Savages. Yes. For all our Tech Savages who are comfortable coding on the couch. Shout out to the Tech Pookies. Coding on the couch, wearing a wife beater, and those, what are those house shoes called? Those not flip-flops, but those house shoes. That is how I envision my Tech Pookies, but they are getting code done. What's that all about? There we go. So shout out to the Tech Pookies as always. So just want to say a big thank you, a big thank you to you all. And I'll just take the opportunity to say, check out the sprint review that I uploaded this past Sunday morning for our last sprint, free in the Patreon, techcoachralph.dev. It is exclusive to the Patreon and it's free. So you just have to go over there, sign up, and check it out. And if you're interested in getting exclusive content, also sign up for the Patreon. At a tier, you get a bunch more content. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can ask Raw. You can ask Raw Juice and Herbs, aka Alexis, on her first 2 days working with me, how it's been so far. How's it been so far? All right. I'm just saying. I have in the chat, I have a witness ask your car, ask your car how we work together, right? So ask about me. Ask about me. All right. Where's my lights? All right. So check it out. Check out the Smart Review. Join the Patreon, techcoachralph.dev. Sign up for one-on-one coaching while spots are available. It's starting to fill up. Just saying. So just wanted to mention that. Now let's get into, and by the way, if you haven't done this already, help us grow, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, help the algorithm. All right. So let's get into a little bit of housekeeping. Let me see, does this work? All right. Housekeeping. So I want to go over our live show schedule and then we will get to the chat. So first and foremost, let's get into our schedule, right? On Sunday afternoons, we are doing software explorations, but no longer are we doing Terraform. Nope. We are doing DevOps. Yes, we are going into DevOps. Yes, which I'm just going to mention right now, although I'm going to mention it later because we started off with DevOps and Docker this past Sunday. I'm going to be doing our software exploration concept and overviews. Just finished recording it before I came on live. And I'm going to be editing it and uploading it for tomorrow's software explorations release at noon. So I'm just letting it, we're not in the pre-recorded yet, but I just wanted to let you know. But we're working on DevOps. This coming Sunday, we're going to continue with Docker. I can't wait to get into microservices for Docker. Everything is starting to make a lot more sense of what I see on a daily basis. But software explorations, we are working on DevOps on Sunday afternoons. You don't want to miss it. Tuesday nights, we have our Q&A sessions like tonight. We have Q&A. Thursday nights, we have more software explorations. This coming Thursday, I previewed a clip of it yesterday morning in the morning show. I am going to attempt to build my AI clone. We'll see what we can do. How accurate will this clone be? We'll find out. So Thursday night, before we get started, I'm going to play the video again. It was an interview with an AI clone, the person that was cloned, and Maria Bartiromo from Fox Business. And I was impressed. And I'm like, you know what? We got to try this out. We have to try this out live. All right. So we're going to be working on building that. That's Thursday nights, software explorations. The morning shows, Mondays and Wednesdays. We start around, 7 a.m.-ish, figure that out as the week goes. But tomorrow morning, we're going to probably start at around 7:15 doing our morning show. We're going to continue. We're going to upload our app to the Google Play Store so that we can be in compliance with their new updates and with their new requirements and stuff like that. And we're going to review some news stories. And then my favorite show of the week, the Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate show. Yes. You know how they like to, how they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't? No, the numbers don't lie. The men and the women, they manipulate the numbers to tell the story that they wanted to tell. So that's why we must investigate it for ourselves to make sure it makes sense. We have to make sure the maths. All right. Just saying. All right. Let's jump into our pre-recorded content schedule. Mondays, we have Candid Conversations. Yesterday, I spoke about why it is essential, why it is a must that you separate yourself from the pack, from the herd, from the collective, and stand on your own 2 feet. The things that they try to group you by mean absolutely nothing. I'd rather be grouped by my work ethic, my dedication, and put me with people who have even more better work ethic than me, and so that I can prosper and grow from them, instead of classifying me by things that I cannot control, things that I was born with, that I inherited, and it means absolutely nothing. The people that I inherited, whatever it is, I can't control it. I don't want to be grouped by that. I want to be grouped with the winners. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right. And then Wednesday, software explorations, concept and overviews. We are going to be talking about DevOps, giving a more in-depth understanding of the concept of DevOps before we get in more deeper into everything else about DevOps and Docker and Ansible and Packer, and the list goes on and on and on. We already started off with Terraform the past year. We're moving on. All right. We are moving on. So lastly, we have Fridays, the Bug Bite. Yes, we have the Bug Bite where we are working to exterminate bugs. This coming Friday, we're going to be talking about Delta suing Microsoft and CrowdStrike over Delta losing over between $350 million and $500 million. And they're trying to recoup some of that money, right? So we're going to be reviewing that, seeing what the Delta CEO had to say, all of that good stuff. All right. So that's what we're going to be talking about on Friday. And then throughout the week, we have shorts as well as clips from the Q&A show. We cut the questions up, put them in small bite-sized digestible pieces so that you can get it how you live. You can get it how you live. All right. So shout out to all the content. And guess what? We are going to get a lot more coming very, very soon. Thank you. Thank you. You shouldn't have. It's my pleasure. It is my pleasure. All right. Let's jump into the chat and see what the word on the street is. And I'm going to, if anybody wants to call in, let me see. Hopefully I remember this right. Let's see. Let's see if that works. We shall see if that works. All right, let's see what we got going in the chat. We got Raw Juice and Herbs in the chat. Good evening, Raw Juice and Herbs. AKA, see, I always say the name of the channel and not the name of the person. Good evening, Alexis. How are you doing today? And we got Your Car says, he says, do not forget, do not leave us out. The tech bookies, Your Car, you will never, ever be left out.
I appreciate you.
And Your Car is making sure that he is getting his snake protein powder. And Your Car says, we just call them Devo house shoes. That makes sense. Devo's coming. Devo is coming. Tuck your chain in. Tuck your chain in. And if I must say so myself, Alexis says that the first 2 days in the coaching has been excellent. Excellent. I agree. It has been, I love coaching people and helping them see what they really like. You know much more than you think you do. And a lot of times the advice that people get, it's not the best advice because they're getting it from people who might not really understand because they don't have exactly the industry experience. You have let's be real. People who've been in it for like 2 to 3 years trying to tell you how to level up in it, it's not going to be exactly what you're looking for. You know, it can be a great start, but we have to be very, very strategic in how we maneuver. And that is what I bring to you. So I am so excited for, and this week, the other tech barbarians are going to be connecting with Alexis to start showing her the way that we work and the different softwares, getting the application started on her local machine through Docker and Git and all that type of stuff. So, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome experience. I'm just saying, right? And a wealth of knowledge, so much value. And Your Car says that Tech Coach Ralph, is a great coach and keeps it real with you. Thank you, Your Car. Thank you so much. All right. Your Car is still waiting on his snake powder protein juice. I will not get involved in those. But see, Alexis remembers. See, and this is the quality of an amazing QA engineer. It says, I thought it was Python powder protein, not just snake powder protein juice, Python powder protein. You see? And that is, Look at that. Excellent QA in the making. All right. Oh my God. Python juice is the key ingredient. You see, look at that. We're out here making up these recipes to help you get better at Python overall. See, look at that. We are winning. We are winning. So the link is in the chat. Pinned to the top of the chat. It'll be circulating in the chat as well. And it's in the description. If anyone wants to call in, have a question, I am here for you. All right. So with that being said, let's start the show. Let's get to our questions. And before we even do that, if you do me a big favor, subscribe to the channel. Help us grow. Help us grow. We are competing against the world. We are competing against the world. We are trying to catch everybody. All right. So there's no missing here. There is no missing. So subscribe to the channel, help us grow, join the Patreon, get access to our sprint reviews. We have another sprint review coming up this coming Sunday, which I will be releasing to you guys the following Sunday the following Sunday. So, keeping the content growing. And remember this coming Monday or Sunday, one of these days, either Sunday or Monday, I will be releasing a video in the Patreon for you. All right. And what is that video about again? I don't even remember. I said it the other day. What is that video about? Let me find out. Let me see what that video is about, because I want you to, it's about, let's see. I don't see that video. Let me find that video. I want to find that video for you. It is about how to properly prepare for your next certification. The things that I do to learn these things and to always have it at top of mind. So I'm going to be releasing a video this coming either Sunday or Monday on how to prepare when you're approaching certification. Because a lot of people, they love certifications, but they just don't know how to properly know the information. So I'm going to be sharing some insights, my number one tip on getting ready for certifications. All right. So with that being said, that's in the Patreon, techcoachralph.dev. Okay, and the link for that is in the chat as well. So you can level up by clicking on the link, signing up for the Patreon for free. And then if you need even more content, you can level up to a tier and join us on our fantastic journey. Okay, that being said, let's get to it. The show format is going to be 5 minutes per question after I read the question, because some of these people can be very, very long-winded. I read like maybe I might read the first paragraph of a question before, all right, I'm going to add it to the list. And then we should go from there. Right. So let's get to it. In the words of DJ Khaled,
Let's get it.
all righty then. So the first question of the night, give me a second. Clean this up. All right. So the first question of the night, let's start it off right by going to here and let's say question number 1.
Another one.
The first one, we're going to talk about CrowdStrike. This whole CrowdStrike outage. I know it's been a few weeks. We haven't heard anything about it anymore. Like I said, this coming Friday, we're going to be talking about Delta suing Microsoft and CrowdStrike. All right. So but I want to talk about this one. This question is about the outlook for QA engineers and CrowdStrike. So I hope this is a learning point for big companies not to cut back on QA. Otherwise, this will keep happening. Developers, yeah, we tested it. Looks like it's working. We don't need QA. Also, developers, oops, that's not meant to happen. Loses company way more than it would have been to keep the QA team. So let's start our timer. And let's go with this, right? While I agree with the idea behind what this question or comment is saying, what I disagree with is the premise that CrowdStrike had no QA, unless I missed an article or a news story that said that CrowdStrike has no QA, then that's on me, and I take that back. But But what I reject is that you're saying that this is what happened. And of course, I believe that all companies need QA, but I also believe that all companies do not properly use QA. And I also believe that all QAs don't use, number one, they either don't have the necessary skill set, the necessary creative thinking on how to maneuver, or they sit back and wait for the developers to tell them what to do instead of being proactive and making a plan on how to attack. So while I understand the what this is saying, like, oh, let's just have all the developers do the testing, and believe you me, developers do not want to be responsible for testing. I do not want the developers to be responsible for testing. See, testing, that's not to say that developers cannot help and contribute to testing, because in an agile environment, the success of the software falls on everyone, but everyone has their roles to play as well. So QA is responsible and accountable for the quality of the application. Now they can say, all right, I need you to do this for me, I need you to do that, and test this part, test that part. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with QA when it comes to the quality. I mean, it's everyone's responsibility as a team, but everyone has a role to play. Now, the part that I reject is that there is no there's no QA, because the way that this issue could have happened is on one type of Windows computer or setting, this could have went perfectly fine. And the person who was doing QA, or whether it was the actual tester or the developer, says, oh, this worked fine on this one particular computer, and they don't have a fleet of computers to actually test it on. That happened. But I don't think that big companies are cutting, or they might be cutting back on quote unquote QA, but is it that they're cutting back on QA, or are they making it more efficient? Are they adding more automation flows to their processes? And is this post really advocating for quote unquote manual testers? And like I've said in the past, there will always be the need for manual testing. However, sorry to say to the die-hard manual testers, your role will be phased out. For all the people who are, dead set on manual testing and becoming a manual tester, which we're going to touch on that later on in more questions, it's going to be very, very tough, because all the millions of people taking Udemy courses and are in boot camps, in those cohorts that cycle in and cycle out, thinking that they're going to get $100,000 doing manual testing as a manual tester, it doesn't seem to be the case. And to try to use the whole CrowdStrike issue, because that was the hot topic. Like, okay, yeah, CrowdStrike, they didn't properly test. They didn't properly test. But is it to say that the developers are the ones who caused this? I can't say that. I don't know who did it. I don't know the breakdown of their demographics. It could be one QA tester or QA engineer who's responsible for this. It could be, right, that QA engineer was on PTO, and this is a routine thing that they do, and there was a semicolon missing, and someone else was filling in, maybe an engineer or something like that, and they missed it. Right now, this caused a massive amount of money, but there's no guarantee that. I just don't like the premise of this question. I like to keep it intellectually honest. And like I said, while I agree, companies it's essential for them to keep QA, but I always look at what is the most efficient way that we can work. And sometimes inefficiency, when you're trying to work efficiently, something can creep in. Usually it's not to the level of this whole CrowdStrike debacle, but it happens. It happens. So all I'm saying is I agree with the sentiment. I disagree with the premise that big companies were cutting back on QA and stuff like that. I think that if companies do get rid of QA, then, they have to suffer the consequences. Because when the companies do try to get rid of QA, which we're going to talk about that as well later on, but now you're just putting more on the engineers and they end up being a lot less efficient. All right. So with that being said, we're going to wrap this question up with a nice little bow on top. Alrighty then. Let's see. Cool. All right. So let's see. What is our next question for the night? And I'll be monitoring the chat to see if there is anything in particular to address. And the link is in the chat. I'm going to drop the link in to call in again in case anyone wants to call in. And let's see. Let's get to our next question. Let's get to our next question of the night. So this is a pretty good question, actually. This is a very QA specific question. But I love these type of questions. I love these type of questions. And all right. Let's stop the show. Whenever my guy Mitch gets here, I gotta stop the show and say, "What's good, Mitch? What's happening?" And I got to play the opener. All right, I just had to get that out of the way. Welcome in, Mitch. Mitch says, Apple just dangled a crazy offer. I had to stay with the safest bet. I feel like Apple is the biggest culprit. Oh my. What was the offer, Mitch? What was the offer? The people want to know. What was the offer, Mitch? What did they offer you? What did they offer you for you to sell your soul? The people want to know, Mitch. The people want to know. Mitch says, Mitch coming in on fire. Just saying. You know what, Mitch, you get a
We the best.
all right. And it says, not into foolishness today. Grow up. Aw.
Bruh.
I feel so rejected. Oh, well, see, yeah, even your car wants to know what was the offer they hit you with. We got to know. We got to know, Mitch. We got to know what was the offer, Mitch. What was the offer? All right. While Mitch tells us the offer, let's get into the next question of the night. All right. You know, I always have to honor Mitch, right? I always have to honor Mitch. So let's get to our next one.
Another one.
So test case management tools. So this person wants to know, which tools are you using to manage your test cases? I was recently promoted to QA lead. Well, congratulations to you. And now have the responsibility of choosing the best for managing test cases. Until now, we've been using Jira, creating test tasks for each test area and managing them accordingly. However, I decided to switch to Zephyr to enhance our test case management. I've also created a YouTube tutorial about Zephyr use cases. I'm curious to know what other effective tools are available for test case management. Your recommendations are welcome. Well, that is an excellent question. Let's start our timer. So honestly, I'm going to share that right now right now, the way that the team that I work on, we use Google Sheets. Yes, I said Google Sheets, but in the past, I've used a variety of different tools. One of the tools that I really did like using was from a company named Inflectra, and the software was called Spirotest. And they had Spire Test, Spire Team. Spire Team had a little bit more features, but it was able to integrate into Jira, and we're able to develop these listeners for when we're using Selenium. And so you could write your test cases in there, and then when you run automation, it could connect it like that, right? I really like that tool, and I think we also have what is a Jira tool? X-Ray. We have X-Ray. So here's the thing: when dealing with these tools, you have to be very, very strategic in how you introduce it to your team, because if you introduce it incorrectly, then you will lose buy-in and you'll never, ever be able to introduce it again. So something that happened with us is, so like when I came into the company, they were already using Google Sheets and stuff like that. And me, I don't like using Google Sheets because it's not a database that's easily manageable and things like that. But at the same time, tools like Zephyr and X-Ray, those tools that integrate into Jira, they can be very, very costly. So the problem though is if you introduce it incorrectly and your team doesn't buy into it, then it is not going to work. People don't like immediate change, right? So when you try to like say, okay, we're going to try to do this and they don't like it, they will resist, especially if they are in a stronger position, like if they have more influence than you, because you might be newer to it, you might not like know how the team works well. So you need to be very, very strategic. You can't mess up the flow of operations. So when I was introducing Spira Team to the company that I was working with, I did not immediately go to the team so that they can like give a bunch of feedback. I work strategically with the QA manager and the QA director to say, well, this is what this tool can do. Let's sample it out from a small sample size, and then we can expand it. And then that tool became like, and so then as it got bigger and people were not, oh, we don't like this about it, it was too late, right? So you just need to be very, very strategic in how you organize it, because if you start to disrupt the order of operation for people and you make it more complicated for them, they're going to reject it. So whether you're using Zephyr or X-Ray or any other tool, like one tool which I'm not saying I would recommend this particular tool, but we on this channel, we use Docker to install, what was the name of that? Kiwi test case management system, where we wrote some test cases in there and stuff like that. It was very fun, but I don't think I would recommend that as a test case management system. If you can properly organize Zephyr or X-Ray or look into Spire Test, there's some other tools out there, but I really liked I think Microsoft Azure has one too. I don't know the name. I think like Azure DevOps or something like that. That might be another one that could be good. But it's more about the strategy that you go when introducing new things. It's like you have to get the buy-in from your team in a very strategic way, because if you it's like launching a product very poorly. It's like this. I hate to use this example because this is my governor. I hate to use example, but when he went to launch his campaign on X and they had a bunch of failures and stuff like that, it was a total debacle. And it ended before it started.
Bruh.
You know what I mean? So you just have to execute, and you can't miss the landing. You cannot miss the landing. All right. So because then they will be telling you that you have to give back your bronze medal, and we don't want that to happen. All right. We do not want that to happen. So the tool as much isn't, because they're going to manage the test cases. Just make sure it's easy to get to. You can, like, it's searchable and stuff like that. But the most important thing is the people who are going to be using it, that you get the buy-in, and you have to be very, it's more about dealing with people and getting them to support what you're doing, as opposed to saying, I'm using this and it is what it is. If they don't like it, they won't use it and it'll be a mess, right? So that is my thought. Hopefully that was able to help you and add some value. Let's see what we got happening in the chat. So, and do me a favor, do me a big favor. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Help us grow. We are almost, if not already, we are almost at 1,500 subscribers. Yeah, we are working over here. We are working. And I'm telling you, I'm working on getting a lot more videos coming out very, very soon. All right. So let's see what else we got. So Mitch says that he hates Google Sheets and he uses it every single day along with Excel. He says Excel to me is way better. I like the collaboration that you're able to do with Excel, to be honest with you. With Google Sheets. Excel, I haven't used Excel in so long. So I don't know if the online version of Excel, they made it a little bit better, but I like the collaboration for Google Sheets, but I do not like Google Sheets for test cases. I prefer a test case management system, but you can only do so much. Right? And Mitch says, analytics engineer, I can't sell my soul. I can't do something I don't like. Just like I will never promote anything I don't do. All right, that just reminded me, Mitch. Today, I'm like, you know what? I really hate you guys because I really miss my energy drinks. Not gonna drink them, but it just made me like, you know what? Sometimes I really dislike you people. I sometimes because I was like, oh my God, I was up like 4:30 every day this week working and then up to like midnight trying to get things out for the tech barbarians and I'm like getting so tired to this afternoon. I'm like, you know what? I remember the good old days when I could just pop an energy drink and I just get right back at it. And I'm like, sold my soul. I sold my soul to Mitch and your car and all those people who held me accountable for something I wasn't even doing anymore at the time. But like I said, I have to stay true. To my word, right? So Mitch says, as you can imagine, the salary was sick. It was sick. Bruh. Mitch, I think that your standards are slightly off. Because if Apple was to reach out to me, I'm like, hey, we're going to give you the bag. I'd be like, what? I'm just saying. They're going to make you an offer that you can't refuse, And Mitch, your car says, you gotta take it. Do it for a little while, and then you can use it on your resume to continue making money on that pay scale. Hit it and quit it. Hey, that right there is a true tech Pookie comment. I'm just saying that is a true tech Pookie comment. Your car representing through and through. All right. And it says, turned it down. Mitch stands on business. I don't know. I'm only so tall, Mitch. I am only so tall. It says, energy drink is a hell of a drug. It's a fact. That's a fact. But I'm not going back. And see, Alexis is like, energy drinks equals poison. See, look at that. I'm just saying. I missed it. That's all. I missed it. You ever think back of, someone that like, I wonder what this person is up to. That's why I was like, I wonder what the energy drinks are up to right now. But I didn't even call. All right. I was just wondering how they were doing, how they've been. I didn't call, I didn't text or anything like that. All right. I'm just saying. See, they always trying to keep me accountable. It says, stay sober. I'm sober. I am sober. I was just saying, I was just wondering how they were doing in their lives. Okay. That's all. I know you've looked back and thought before. So it says, recruiter manager, are you sure? What did Mitch say? Mitch, you're a real one, Mitch. You are a real one. Cause I would have been like, okay. You know, it says, I read, you know what, Mitch, you should have took it and helped me get a discount on my next Excalibur 2. All right. I'm just saying, Mitch, I got people who need laptops and Mac supplies. All right. So anyways, Mitch, thank you for not helping the cause. So we're going to get to our next question. Do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live, and check out the poopypants.app to see what the tech barbarians are building. And check out the time cost calculator to put a monetary value on your time. You'll be surprised. You will be surprised. All right. Let's get to the next question of the night. So this one is about QA again. Let's get to it.
Another one.
Developers doing end-to-end testing? Yes, indeed. So developers are doing end-to-end testing automation too. So are we safe as automation testers in the future, or is test automation going to be merged into dev roles as their responsibility? Manual testing gone now in some X amount of years. There is no test automation as independent role, but part of the developer. Before you scream, this is going to be a long one, so please bear with me. These people can be very, very long-winded at times. It's like they're writing a Dear John letter, whoever John is, or is it a Dear Sally letter? Whatever. So before you scream, I'm not saying test automation is not needed here. I'm taking view if it will be as a separate role in coming future. Before I ask, I had a conversation with many folks of my management and also other test seniors in the industry. Unfortunately, I have been shut down by my management by giving a logical explanation, which I don't have any counter. Below are the sample conversations that's happened. So this person says to management, I have, and so many other test veterans have not seen except a few good developers who catch bugs. So how can they even write automation testing? The answer is the quote veteran tester, I call them legacy veteran tester. This mindset were honed by legacy seniors, which is now being busted and changed and challenged. Code owner is responsible for testing. Devs don't write earlier because we give them this benefit of the doubt and they see testers, so they don't write. They're being pampered. Now they know it. I see things being changed dramatically. And specifically for new joiners, I don't see this problem at all. We are making new generations of developers. Okay, so let me break it down. So what they're saying, the manager is saying that older engineers, they do not have the testing mind frame. I'm telling you the truth, new ones don't either. But so they're saying though, like by bringing them in to say, okay, your responsibility is to test as well, so that it's a new generation of developers, right? Is the Gen Z developers, right? So another thing he says to management, but testing needs to be independent as we humans have problems of cognitive bias. The same person writing code can't write end-to-end automation. The management responds, my friend, I agree with both of your points, but bias are so long you are not aware. But now that you are aware, you can manage your bias regarding independent testing. Also, I agree, but why we will build resources for this? I hire only dev for independence. I am buying Gen AI Copilot license. Get it reviewed for same. All right. So, okay. Another thing he says to management, but you do really think do you really think that Gen AI tools will understand our scenario and help? Management says, look, I know where you're going. I don't want team stamping on Gen AI capability? Have you heard about market is never wrong? Do you know market valuation of Gen AI? You are not able to make it work. It's a tool. Humans are required, but you need to learn how to use it to the best of its ability with your skills. It will not do everything magically, but you can use it to a large extent for what you're looking for, provided you are open and ready to use it. Let's see. So look at our code. Out of strong answers, I searched the whole company instance of Git, and I see the same folks doing front end work and writing wonderful Playwright Cypress tests end to end. All right. All right. I can't take any more of this question. All right. I cannot take any more of this question, but I will answer the question. So here's the deal. Here is the deal with this. Developers writing, so can developers write end-to-end tests? Yes, they actually can write it, but the problem with and does that mean that all companies are going to replace QA people with developers? Absolutely not. Why can they not do that? Because it's too expensive and slow. I'll put it like this. The ratio for QA to developer is normally like 3 or 4 developers to 1 QA person. All right. And what that allows is for the developers to get a lot more work done, get to the client faster. And now the QA person is maneuvering around the work that the developer is doing. So the QA person will be analyzing the risks, because if you have everyone who see the same thing the same way, then you're going to miss out on particular risks and things that can happen. There's been so many times that I've been able to point out different potential problems that would have if we were to release the software this particular way, or when we're designing how we're going to approach it, things like that. Like I said earlier, the biggest problem that I see with people in QA is that they do not make their value known. They do not make their value seen. You just want to sit back and wait for things to happen. And then you're like, oh, now after all the work is done, you're like, oh, there's a problem here, there's a problem here, there's a problem there, there's a problem there. I don't like that. I believe in proactive quality assurance. So what is that? What do I mean by proactive quality assurance, right? So from the inception of the project, I'm already thinking about quality. So now in all the conversations that we're having, I'm trying to understand better what the developers and the engineers are talking about, what the product owners are talking about. I'm looking for potential flaws and risk early. So that way, I'm adding value at every step of the way. So now when we're having these conversations, I'm like, okay, did you consider this? Oh, do you think this would be better? How do you think about the user experience about this? And now I'm making my voice be heard. And now once we actually start implementing, I'm also making sure that the acceptance criteria actually makes sense and we have something very detailed that follow along. Now, adding to that, once we actually start implementing, I'm getting I'm communicating what I'm going to be looking for in testing very early on. So now the developer has all of this in mind, so that as they're building, as they are developing, they already know what I'm looking for. So they're working around that. And I also get from them, okay, what are some things that you can see that I'm missing in our testing approach? Now, when we operate that way, so I'm writing out all my scenarios that we're going to be looking for testing, and they are so once they are done, I'm already starting my automation tests, and now we can have those 3 developers. They are like, as they are finishing things up, they start looking at other things. Sometimes if there's way too much to test, then they can also participate. But the key is, if all the testing was to rely on so they write the code to develop the application, but then they also write the code to do all the end-to-end testing. Testing is you need to be able to put on a different hat. When I'm leading the tech barbarians, right, and I'm doing development code, there are things as a developer that I don't see because I have the hat on of a developer. Even when I'm doing test-driven development, I have the hat on of a developer. So now when I have to go back and see it from a QA perspective, I have to put on a different hat, right? To see it the way that they're seeing. And that's why the tech barbarians, they've been able, oh, there's a bug here, there's a bug there. So it's totally different. You have a person who relies on solely testing their own work. They're doomed. It's guaranteed failure. So should we also say that engineers are they're going to do their own code reviews as well? No. So you need to have that level of separation, and especially in regulated industries, there is a high level of separation as well. So there has to be a QA team. There has to be a development team. There has to be a DevOps team. At one company that I was at, the developers were not allowed to deploy. It had to be QA that had to deploy because they need to have separation in the roles. You know, those are for like regulated. That was a pharmaceutical industry, right? So so those are the things like, but the reason, the number one reason that QA is going, like it seems that QA is being pushed aside is because QA for too damn long has been sitting on their butts, waiting instead of being proactive and adding value. So when you don't add value, then you will be replaced. If you added value, you wouldn't be crying about AI. That's my thoughts behind it. And that's why I am very, very meticulous in how I lead the tech barbarians into war every single day. All right. So let's wrap. Sorry for that long and complicated question. Hopefully the answer though was very, very clear. All right. All right, let's see what we got in the chat. Do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, go to techcoachralph.dev, sign up for the Patreon, and you can sign up for free, get access to our sprint reviews, all right? So, your car says, I'm a bag chaser and a tech pookie. So your car right now is sitting on his couch, coding with his wife beater and his Debo house shoes. I'm just saying, we got you, Ikar. And Mitch says, Dr. You might be getting some money from the Cash App. Hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App.
Bruh.
Let's see. Your car says, hit the Cash App. All my snow bunnies. Hit the Cash App. As he says, you didn't see the settlement cash? What settlement? Oh, there's a Cash App settlement? What? There's a Cash App settlement? Let's see. And your car says, I want my 2,500. I want my 2,500 too. Let's see what else we got. All right. So there we go. We are moving along. Mitch, I don't know if you caught it, but on Thursday, we are going to be building my AI clone. So sometimes you get me, sometimes you get my AI clone. We'll figure it out. I wonder if my AI clone could host the show. I don't know. We gotta figure it. We have to figure this stuff out because I really want to know. I really want to know what we can do with this AI clone thing. All right. Let's see. Do you own a baseball team? Does it have to be here in the US? Does the baseball team have to be here in the US? Because I can find a baseball team to own. I can find one to own if it doesn't have to be in the US. I'm just saying. And does Little League count? Does Little League count? Let me know. Let me know the details. Let me know the details. All right. So let's get to our next question. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, go to techcoachralph.dev, sign up for a coaching plan. Let me help you level up in your career. All right. So the next question that we have tonight has to do with Agile, right? So, and it comes from a Scrum Master. So, and you know how much I love Scrum Masters. They are like, they work so hard and so underappreciated, so undervalued. Shout out to all my Scrum Masters out there. All right, let's get to our next question.
Another one.
So, the Scrum Master sentiment says, my team feels ineffective. So, the sentiment of the team is that they feel ineffective in the work that they do. So it says, after a team health assessment, my team scored themselves a collective 3.4 out of 6 on feeling their skills and abilities contributing to the team goal. That's a tough one. Besides having a convo with the product owner about clarifying the team goal, how else can I help my team? Let's start the clock on this one. This is a very, very good one, right? Because the Scrum Master, like their priority is to make sure the team is a well-oiled machine. And that's why they do all these type of surveys and these team building exercises and the retrospectives and the planning and the sprint review and the stand-up, all that. Like all that is to make sure that the team is working very, very well. So when you get almost a half, like when it's almost half of the scale, that the team doesn't feel that their skills or abilities are contributing to the team goal, it can be very, very daunting and depressing, and people don't want to be there anymore. And then you're going to start to get attrition and all that type of stuff. And that absolutely sucks. So, what are some ways that you can help the team? So I think some ways that you can do that is, so definitely, like, you definitely want to make sure that the team understands the team goal 100%. However, I think also what helps is having them feel like they also own the team goal. So instead of them, like the product owner, just telling them what the team goal is or clarifying it, give them some sense of ownership over the team goal. You know, it's very important that the team has an invested interest. The team should also be a stakeholder in what the team produces. If the team doesn't care or they don't understand, then they're just gonna do the work. I always tell this story. There was this one, like a few jobs ago, pretty new there, and the product owner writes up a story, and all of myself and the developers understood it a certain way. But as I'm testing it and I'm reading it over and over and over again, reading the acceptance criteria, I'm like, something doesn't seem right. So I asked the product owner, like, I'm getting mixed understandings on this acceptance criteria. Is this what you meant or is this what you meant? And he said, oh, this is what I meant. And what he meant, we actually developed the opposite of it. Like, not opposite, but like it was totally different. And we had to rework that. So it's one thing that's very important is that having the team contribute to what the goal is. Ask them for their opinions. Ask them about what they think the experience is going to be. Ask them, like, have them own the project. And with that type of buy-in, you get so much more done. Now, the skills and the abilities, you have to ask them, okay, what are you lacking? What do you think that you're missing? What don't you understand? Having those conversations, and you can have a group setting, you can have one-on-one conversations. So I'd say set up one-on-ones with each member of the team, right? Also have a group conversation with them. Have a retro or something like that, right? Have the PO. Have, like, one thing that my Scrum Master, one of the best Scrum Masters that I've ever in my life worked with. Shout out to my amazing Scrum Master. Clap it up. During our sprint retrospectives, you know, sprint retros at the end of the sprint, you go back and you review the past sprint. But something that this Scrum Master did was they went through the 12 principles of Agile with like every sprint, right? So it took like almost 24 weeks, 12 sprints. to go through the 12 principles of Agile and ask us questions about like, okay, so this is the principle. What do you think about it? How do you think our team embodies it? How can we use it better and stuff like that? And which puts it at the forefront of our mind. And when we were building an application, it's really like the product owner says, okay, this is the initiative that we want for the company. And now we trust you to go and execute and build it and think about the ideas. And we just want, this is what we want, but we give it to you to figure it out and to build it. And then that we really own it and think about it that way. As opposed to some companies, it's like the product owner just writes all the stories. The development team has no involvement. They just have to try to understand and ask questions instead of them owning it. So I think that those principles, those keys, like navigating that way is going to increase that score so that they can feel a sense of pride and ownership on their work. I think that the bigger problem is that they feel no pride. They feel no ownership on the work that they're doing. You should put it back in their hands and say, all right, this is what the company wants. Can you take us to the promise? Can you be our LeBron James? Can you be our, that's Mitch's favorite player. That's the only reason I use LeBron James. Can you take us to the promised land, LeBron? And that's going to help the team and their morale and having a good understanding, having consistent retrospective so they can share how things are going, if things are getting better. Things shouldn't be a surprise. Things should not. I never believe in surprises, right? We should already know how everything is going, right? So hopefully that was able to help. Let's wrap that one up. And we shall check the chat, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's see what is going on. It says, you don't know what that's from. I have absolutely no idea what that is from about the baseball team. But if I need to own one, I will. And Mitch says an extra long LeBron. And Mitch also says, which brings up, you see Curry, that's me on the court, sleep time. Mitch, can I change your name to 35 feet Mitch? Can I call you 35 feet Mitch? Because Mitch be shooting from 35 feet. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And Mitch says, step brothers. All right, step brother. Yeah. Did we just become best friends? Huh? Just saying. I'm just saying. All right. And just so Mitch's typo does not show, I'm gonna put up the right one. Step brothers. Just gonna. Yeah, but I know what you meant, Mitch. That happens to the best of us. That happens to the best of us. All right. So Mitch does not like LeBron, believe it or not. So we tried. I tried. All right. And, stop the presses. Stop the presses. We got Junior in the building. Junior says, "What's up? What's up? What's up, family? Good evening to you, Junior."
I appreciate you.
You know what? I have to make sure, actually. Now that, because Junior reminded me of something, I need to make sure that we do a little bit of investigation this coming Saturday morning on the 3D printed homes. Let me add that to the list for Saturday so that we can make sure we have that on our agenda. Do I have it on there? I do not have it on there. So let me add it right now. 3D printed homes in Texas. So we're gonna be doing some research on that. Thank you, Junior, because it was not on the list. I would have missed it, but I really want to look into that. All right. So let's see what else we got. So Mitch is, I don't care. What don't you care about? If you knew, you still put up the worst of me because you're a hater. Who, me, Mitch? Oh, come on, Mitch. I am not a hater. Mitch, we are locked in forever, Mitch. We are locked in forever, Mitch. Come on, Mitch. Come on. You know the type of relationship we have. You know the type of relationship that we have. And oh my God, we got Ferris in the building. Says, who coaches the coach if the coach needs to be coached? Well, I have my coaches. I'm very strategic, Ferris. I'm very, very strategic in how I learn and how I get my insight. And I'm always watching. I see everything. I see everything, right? I see everything. So I have my mentors and coaches don't even know that they're my mentors or coaches. All right. I'm just saying. And Ferris, by the way, a friend of mine, he watched the stream from Saturday and he was like, who is this guy calling in? And I told him, it's one of my people, and he's like, I wish I could have called in because I had so many things to say about it. I was like, uh-oh. But yeah, he said he had a lot to say about he said he could have spoken about about you saying that the economy is not a problem. It's people spending that's a problem. But I'm gonna try to get him up here one of these days. So we can talk about it because I would love to talk about it, right? And we also got let's see. And Mitch says that he coaches me. All right. And he's 100% right. He is 100% right. Shout out to Mitch. See, Mitch didn't want me to tell anybody, but since he told, I'm going to let him know that Mitch is my number one coach. All right. I'm just saying, because
We the best.
yes, we are. You see, because when Mitch shows up, everybody shows up. Right. And let's see what else we got. So Mitch a fake coach of the coach. What in the world? Take it back first. Take it back. See, Mitch says, I don't want to make you cry today. He's going to catch these hands. Ferris, you do not want to catch those hands, all right? You don't want to catch the hands, right? It says, damn, debate panel. I don't know, Ferris. I don't know. All I'm saying, he was like, I don't know. I'm like, call in. I will make space for you to call in. We'll find out. We will find out. And your cards, are we doing a panel show? Are we doing a panel? I don't know if Ferris can handle this, though. I don't know if Ferris wants to smoke. I do not know if Ferris wants to. If you notice your car, Mitch, Ferris is only feisty when he's talking to himself. When he's talking to himself or from the chat. I'm just saying. I don't know if Ferris can handle the one-on-one fight. I'm just saying. We shall see. It says his coach. Ralph said his coaches don't know they are coach, but Just saying. So it says tech bookies are down for a panel show. Mitch says, I'm on the other guy's side. And it says, then I'll end up feeling bad that I gotta stick up for Ferris. Oh my goodness. You know how we do. You know how we do. And it says, Ferris, he calling you a keyboard warrior. Hey, I'm telling you, when Ferris told us the story about how he's helping people make worse decisions than they've already made. I mean, they're better, quote unquote, better decisions, but they're still bad decisions. So it's like you know they're gonna get repoed in like 2 to 3 weeks, and then they're gonna blame you for it because it's like, because Ferris, what's gonna happen if I know I'm diverting, but Ferris, so here's what's gonna happen if they have to choose between paying the car note or paying the Rent-A-Center weekly fee for the 65-inch TV, right? Which one are they going to pay, Ferris? Which one are they going to pay? And that's why I don't even get involved in those type of conversations. Just saying. I'm just saying. Ferris said, I mean, he's trying to bait me. No, I told him 3 routes. They can't do as they please in the end. Their own adult. They're on adults. Oh my goodness. I don't even give, you know how many routes I give them? I give them 0 routes, 0, because they're not getting it from me. I will not accommodate your bad behavior. And it's just, dang, your people, you will help them keep the TV. I'm terrible. I know I'm terrible. I am terrible. But when Ferris was describing the story, that's the vision that I saw. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. I'm like, oh my God, they probably have a TV from Rent-A-Center. And now they're trying to say, okay, are we able to make the Rent-A-Center payment for our 65-inch TV and make the payment on this vehicle that Ferris is telling us that we should buy? I'm like, don't do it, Ferris. Don't do it. And your car says, you out here telling people to financially crash out. That's the thing. He's not though, but they'll blame it on him. They will blame it on him. Ferris says, sounds like a personal problem. If they want to chat, set the panel up, but show me their budget and I will show them why the economy is bad. All right, I'm gonna tell you first. You don't want to see their budget. You do not want to see their budget. I'm just telling you. You don't want to see their budget. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Leave it at that. All right. So, anyway, cat life Ferris stories. Before they are funny. They are funny. Like, when this. when the whole story about how Ferris got the name Endless Grind, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. I must say. I must say. Oh. Ferris got people sticking up for him in the chat. It says, "Tell me the income to debt ratio, the minimum." I'll find out for you, and I will let you know. But I'm just telling you, Ferris. I'm just telling you. And see, Ferris, you got support. You got this, Ferris. I believe in you.
They ain't believing us.
See, look at that. You got support. You see, so Ferris. Let's do the showdown. You know, now I have to go and tell them that, hey, we got a match. We got a match, right? We got a match. Anyway, their budget looks like the CCP. All right. Let's get to our next question. It says, Barrett says, thank you. The power of chat friendship. See, I bring people. See, Mitch, my people, they stick together. Your people, your former people, Mitch. I'm going to say that. Your former people. I'm telling you. Although we be turning on. Me, Mitch, and your car, we'd be turning on each other at the drop of a dime. I'm just saying, but we always come back and we work it out and we hug it out and we get it. All right. Let's get to our next question. Let's get to our next question of the night. So we are here. And
another one.
Do that one more time.
Another one.
Deploying apps or websites without software testing. All right, so this one says, risk of launching a website with rushed QA. What are the potential risks associated with launching a website quickly with only 1 week of review and QA? I'm a marketing manager looking for info to share with my boss who is pressuring the team to launch before the end of the year to meet promises she made to our board. Our web agency is doing all content population and will be delivering a complete, in quotes, site that has been QA'd, debugged, and some cross-browser testing completed. Although this will be done in a program and not on every page. However, this will be the first time we'll be seeing 80% content laid out and designed. We wireframe and design key pages and templates, but not all the pages. I'd like time to test all the links, test conversion paths, install and test events, and do mobile testing on every page. Any good info I can share on the risk here to dissuade her from this approach When I laid out all the work needed to be done and provided time estimates, she just shrugged. She just shrugged and said, we can hire freelancers. Doesn't really help because they won't know the correct links and images and what images should be. One more thing, because she wants to launch right before the holidays, our 30-day warranty is only going to cover 12 actual business days of bug fixing from the 20th to the 24th. So what are the risks? The risks are astronomical. Yes, they are. You have, let's start the clock. Let's start the clock. You have, how many times do you get to make a first impression? Huh? Is allowing me to reintroduce myself a practical thing? Absolutely not. Most people cannot reintroduce themselves. All right. So if you botch this deployment of this client, of a client's website, and now they lose all credibility, your company is done. It is done. It is over with.
Bruh.
So now, but it seems like, and this is a problem. Like, and this is why I always recommend the book, The Clean Coder by Robert C. Martin, about professionalism in the software development industry. As a software engineer, it can be applied as a QA engineer, it can be applied as a DevOps engineer, about how to give proper estimates, how to work effectively and not get bullied by the uppers. All right. So with that being said, what can you do? Because it seems like it's a done deal. What can you do? My question is, why is everything waiting to be deployed towards the end, as opposed to the Agile methodology, building little by little by little by little? So let's say you were to get you work on the homepage and you deploy the homepage, although it can be behind something where not everybody can see it. But so now, while the engineers continue to develop and build out the links and the wireframes and the images and all that stuff, you can continue to test the homepage links and everything like that. And a QA engineer can start writing out the automated tests, UI tests, I guess, in this case. And they can actually, you can actually start testing early and frequently. And then now when the next page is released, you add automated tests. You test that next page manually, but you also add your automated tests to make sure all those things are still working. So many things you can do to mitigate the situation. And this is what I mean, right? So this person is not a QA person. They're a marketing person. But this is what I mean by QA not properly adding value. This should be something that we're looking to mitigate and to say, all right, so we know we have this deadline. We know we have a short amount of time to get it done. What can we do to get it done? So let's start. Can we get the homepage on by this day? Can we set a roadmap? Can we set a roadmap? We want, let's follow the Agile methodology. I want these 3 pages done by the first sprint, everything working, right? So we can start testing that. And in the next sprint, we're working on these other pages. And so we can we just continue, and the whole DevOps video tomorrow is going to explain this even better, right? But working in the cycle, so that we can get closer to launch. And what I would say, something that you don't have tested, put it behind a feature toggle so that you can continue testing. So see what you can deliver. Because if you deliver everything and it's total trash, in the words of my good friend Mitch, my step brother Mitch, if it is trash, right, then you lose everything. Now you have bigger problems to worry about launching the site. Does anyone even have a job in the end? Because I do not want you saying,
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Which then leads to,
I'm in a bind, Nate.
We do not want to talk to Nate ever in our life, ever. We never, ever, ever, ever want to talk to Nate, all right? So So you need to come up with a strategy. Talk to the developers, talk to the product owner, talk to your manager to say, all right, this should be our approach to getting as much out as possible. And so prioritize, what are the most important pages? Is there a page that it's important, but it's not critical? It's not mission critical. Can we like put like deliver, like open that one afterwards? You're in a time crunch. How do you properly handle a time crunch? And the part about bringing on like freelancers and stuff like that, where's the documentation on how the link should work? Why, like this shouldn't fall all on one person. Working off of where is it? Working off of an image or a wireframe, it is totally different. I'll give you an example. So we are implementing the UI redesign of the homepage of the Poopy Pants app, but the design, the UX UI design that was given, the actual implementation turns out a little bit different. Like a lot of it matches, but it turns out a little bit different because when you are taking the idea that is on a graphic and you're building it out into actual code, there's going to be some things are going to look a little bit different than to 100% what you envisioned. So that's what I want you to understand and consider, so that you can get it as clean as possible. There might be some things here and there not work, but if the homepage doesn't work, then you're screwed, right? So you want to be very, very strategic in your release process. Get things out as early as possible, get them tested, write some automation tests so that you can be in the best position to crush this release and not have everything. Like we do not believe in chasing waterfalls, right? Don't go chasing waterfalls. That's a fact. That is a fact. All right. With that being said, we're going to wrap this question up. All right, let's see what the chat has to say about this. Where's my mouse? All right, there goes the mouse. All right, so let's see. Your card says chat lives matter, hashtag tech pookies. And Mitch says, nah, I'm solo. There you go, Mitch. There you go. Mitch used to argue me down about being for the people. I said, Mitch, there is only one person, and that is you, Mitch. That is you. Be for yourself, Mitch. And now, Mitch gets it. Mitch gets it. All right. Let's see. Mitch says, definitely be turning on each other. Hilarious. That is a fact. And Ferris says something that I refuse to repeat. Never will that I repeat that. Nope. And it says, you are sick. Your car is sick. It says, I got a real question. Trolling aside. So I learned my new role is like 5 jobs in one for a startup government contract. Is that normal for a startup? All right. So I'm going to take this as a question. I am going to take this as a question. Oh, let me see if I can leave this up on the screen. Give me a second here. All right. Let's do that. So I'm going to put this question on the screen. So let's take this as a full question. All right. Let's go with
another one.
So Ferris says, so he just learned that his new role is like 5 jobs in one. 5 jobs in one for a startup government contract. Is that normal for a startup? Well, I hate to break it to you, Ferris, but that is absolutely normal for a startup. And it depends. So here's a question. What is the size of the startup, Ferris? Because the smaller the startup, the more hats that you have to wear. I have a whole rack of hats over there, by the way, right? But the smaller the company, the more roles that you have to wear. So, or that you have to take on. And that is because startups, they are a startup. Like they might have some funding, but the funding only lasts for so long. Running a company is super, super expensive. You saw just by doing a little bit of stuff on AWS, how your bill can quickly rise. So you're getting paid by the startup, but they also have all these other expenses. So now they're like, all right, how can we get the most out of this position? Because if we had to hire for each position, we just wouldn't be able to survive. And they're trying to build up. They're trying to maybe sell to another company, like sell the company as they build it up. So that's the situation that you find yourself in, and it's good and it's bad. What's the good? The good is that you get to learn a lot about other positions or about other roles and see how you do this, how you do that. It looks great on your resume saying that you worked at a startup and these are all the things that you did for this startup, and that so it gives you more exposure. Now, let's get to the bad. The bad is that it makes it difficult for you to do your 10 other jobs, right? Because Ferris, we know you, Ferris. It makes it very, very difficult for you to do your 10 other jobs. That's one thing. The other thing is that it puts a lot of pressure on you because that means you're constantly switching hats, and that if you didn't know when you're signing up for it, then it's like, all right, what was the level? Because let's say you accepted a position to be a SOC analyst, right? But so you accepted pay on a SOC analyst, but now they have you doing all these other roles like identity and access management. They have you doing GRC. They have you doing what is the one the same one? I forgot, security and incident management, whatever that one, right? So they have you like looking at logs. They have you doing all this different type of stuff. And you're like, why did I accept to pay for a SOC analyst when I'm doing everything? So I definitely understand. So there's that too. It can be pretty tiring, and especially on a startup, you are always on call. The smaller the startup, the more responsibility that you have. So if the pay doesn't match the level of work that you're doing, it does kind of seem like it's not worth it, right? Now, if it's somebody who is starting off in their career and they're trying to build experience, then I'm like, okay, you definitely got to take whatever you can get. But the fact that you having like all these jobs that you already have, and now you're taking on another 5 jobs in one, I don't like. Is the compensation worth it, Ferris? Is the compensation worth it? That's what I'm wondering. That is what I'm wondering. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of comments going on over here. All right, so let me see. Is there anything else from Ferris about this? Let me see. I don't think. Let's see. So let me filter out Ferris's messages so I can have this conversation with Ferris real quick. So let me see. Let's see. So Ferris says, let's see. Ferris says, damn, I'm cooked. I'm really cooked now. I guess I will suck it up, hold it for 12 months ish, and ask for 300% pay raise. You get, do what you can. I mean, if you can hold on to it, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of context switching, a lot of hats that you have to wear. But if you can, go for it. Let's see. First, said anything else around this one? Let's see. Says, nah, just an annual bonus of 10K, which I guess is and some free stuff like a monitor. I mean, they're going to try, like, the startups are going to offer you things that, like, because they know the amount of work that you're going to be doing. So they're going to offer you like maybe unlimited PTO if you're working like full time for the company as a salaried worker, or if you're a W-2. They might offer you like different incentives that it doesn't cost them as much as you doing those 5 roles. So, but nowadays as well, Ferris, though, roles are very, very dynamic as well. In a government contractor role, they're not supposed to be that dynamic because working for the government, they want you to have all these separations in place. So that might be something that comes into play. As the company grows, they might have to start adding more more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like segmenting the different roles and responsibilities that people have. But as you get started, you know, it's something. It's something. All right. So that was that. All right. So let's finish that one up. All right, let's see what else we have here. Let's go to the chat. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. Help us grow. Help us get this amazing tech news out. All right. So let's see where we're at. So your car says yes. The hiring agent does that on purpose to save money. Exactly. And Mitch says, Ferris, definitely normal. I told you I had an offer I turned down. It was like 7 jobs in one. But if anyone can do those 7 jobs, it is definitely Superman himself, Mitch, not Mitch, 35 feet Mitch. And let's see, Ferris had said, damn, good side is legit. I can get my CSSP now since it has every domain. Awesome. That's a good thing. Let's see. It says good way to look at it, but don't burn yourself out. Burnout only lasts a few hours. You take a nap, you wake up, and you get right back at it because we are in it to win it. We are here to run it up. I never worry about burnout. When I get burned, wake up the next day around 4 or 5, and we're like, let's get it. Let's go. Get it. And Mitch says, that's good. You got a government contract, though. That is definitely good. Shout out to Ferris, landing 20 jobs a year, while some people are still looking for their first. So I don't know how Ferris does it. I do not know how Ferris does it. Let's see. Mitch says, don't know if they will do that, but you will get any stock option. Do you get any stock option or equity? That is a great question. It says, yeah, it's good for experience. Sets me to senior level. Maybe I'm doing some advanced. Yeah, I mean, the more experience you build up, the faster you can get to that senior level because you've seen more, you've seen more. So that's great. That is great. What's the saying? I've seen more in a day than you've seen in your lifetime, So that's what Ferris is doing. It says, nah, just an annual bonus of 10. Okay, we read that about the annual bonus of 10K. And a monitor. Don't forget the monitor. Shout out to the monitor. And it says to stick it out and get out in 12 months. It says, that's cool. You actually learn a lot more in a startup because you are doing multiple of different roles, so you can learn. That is a fact. That's how I learned most of the things, right? I'm like, not necessarily that there were startups, but I just had to figure things out because I was the pioneer of pretty much everything, okay? And we got another Mitch is saying, just don't burn out. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Be the best.
Don't threaten me with a good time, all right? Ferris says, too late. I'm cooked. Ferris says he's cooked. He is cooked. And that's because you have 10 other jobs.
Bruh.
Exactly. Yes, 10 other jobs and 2 courses. Let's stop the show. I have one of my friends in here. Rod Brown in the building. Mr. Mark Henry himself. What's up, Rod Brown? How are you doing tonight? And Mitch says, I think we are really stepbrothers, but like I said before, Ralph is the vile one. What? I am what? I will wear that hat, Mitch. See, tonight I have my lone wolf hat on. This whole week, I am representing the separate yourself mentality, the lone wolf mentality. Let's get it. Ferris says 12 months from now, I will be overpowered. This is my training. There you go, Ferris. When Ferris says, I am the table, that's what he means. That is what he means. And it says, did he say tech pookie pants app? I said poopy pants app. All right. But but we can always make one for the tech poopies. Just let me know whose quotes we're gonna serve up to that. We know we can do. So it says, my opinion, I think you should cut back on something. You're not going to be able to focus on all those things at once. And we still need to have the Feisty Ferris After Dark channel, at least once every 2 weeks, Ferris, at least once every 2 weeks. It says that startup alone is going to feel like 10 jobs. That's a fact. That is a fact. That startup, it's going to feel like 10 jobs. And Gar says, facts, Mitch. Get rid of the stack and just take the normal gig and use a startup gig at the stack. Yeah, that's interesting. But how much money are you going to lose on that, Ferris? Because you know, Ferris is all about his bag.
Money.
Says I did my schedule over again. The solution I have, stacking my time. So while at work, do X, Y, and Z. Oh my! Another celebrity. We got my guy in the building, Don Johnson. What's up, Don? How are you doing today?
I appreciate you.
I'm gonna get Don to host one of these tech Q&As with me because I'll just have him answer the question because he is so full of insight and wisdom. He has been in QA for like the past 20 years. A very, very incredible resource. So if you, and check out Chaos Camp, the github.com/chaoscamp, amazing tech challenges that Don has created himself. So cool. If you are blessed to be in a Slack group, with Don, use it to your fullest advantage because Don is absolutely amazing. All right. Ferris says 75 people and I'm number 74. Okay. It's a decent size. But yeah, it's decent, but it is small. And so, but actually it's breaking off another company. Interesting. The more details. So it's actually 15 people. Gotcha. Says, yeah, you're going to be scrutinized if it's only 75. Let's say it's actually only 15. You're going to be working all the time, like 24/7. Hopefully, no, I don't know, Ferris. I'm starting to lean with the Yakar and Mitch on this one. Says, if they didn't IPO yet, you could be good if you got stock equity. Or maybe it could be very, very quick for Ferris to become the chief security officer. That's another option. Chief security officer, says, yeah, they have a SaaS product, seems good and unique, backed by venture capital firm. So yeah, if it goes public, good return. That's good to hear. Let's see what else. That's what he says. He's cooked. Says, they will get everything. Yes, everything out of you, even the jobs you didn't sign up for. And says he read our chats and started the segment over. And it says, says Ferris gonna do a live talking about his job cooked him. Ferris After Dark. It says, I wanted the sweet lies, my feelings.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Sorry, Ferris. Sorry. Can only tell you the truth. We can only tell you the truth. It says, I read a 1,000-page document and did a soft internal assessment for the system security plan my first week. Well, they sure know how to ease you in. And Don says, a monitor, it better be a 49-inch plus monitor. I think it was a 34. I think it was a 34. It happens. And Ferris says, unlimited PTO, confusing. I heard it's not really unlimited due to the social pressure to not take it, but I'm not sure on that. I'm a sociopath, so I'll take my PTO. Do we really get paid. I mean, the thing is, right, with a small company, taking PTO is going to be tough because who's going to do the work that you're supposed to do when you are not there? It's going to be tricky. It is going to be tricky. It says, it better be gold. It better be made of gold.
Let's get it.
That is a good point. That is a good point. It says, it is a 34-inch ultra wide 29 by 21 by 9 aspect ratio 2K 1000 hertz monitor. Is that bad? I mean, sounds like it could cost like $229 from Best Buy, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Is it my internet or is it the stream? What? Am I having trouble? What? Let me see. Let me see what's going on. I think it might be your internet, Ferris. I think it might be your internet. Let's see. So, what else we got? All right, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna go to another question real quick. I'm gonna go to another question, then we'll keep up with the chat as well. All right. So, let's see where we're at with our questions. Let's go to. Let me get some water real quick. So, let's get to our next one. This is going to be a very good question, actually, right? It's going to be a very, very good question. Very curious to hear your thoughts and your insights to this, all right? So let's go.
Another one.
How to explain job gaps in my resume. So, this story might be a little sad, all right? It might be a little sad. What do you say in an interview when they ask you why you left your last job? I've been in the service industry for over 20 years. I was fired from my last job almost a year ago, and it left me in shambles. I've only recently been able to try and get back into it. What would you advise when they want to know why you left your last job and why such a long time in between jobs? So, start the clock. Number one, I'm going to say that we really, really, really need to do our very, very best to get out of our emotions. I don't know where we got the idea that a company is supposed to care so much about you and that they are supposed to know your whole life story and make decisions that are going to be based on if whatever your condition is, right? A company is a business. If the money dries up, they got to do what they got to do. So when I've been laid off in the past, when I made decisions to go to another company, when the last company that I worked for just closed down saying that we have no more money, we're just selling the company and everyone's gone. I was like, okay, cool. Let's get to it. Let's do what we got to do. You just can't let life break you that way. That it puts you in, like, a job breaks you that bad, like, because you got let go from or you're fired. I don't know what were you fired? Were you laid off? Whatever the case may be. But you always have to look forward. Like, people spend so, like, this is something that drives me crazy, right? And I'm not gonna say it's Mitch's people who do this, but this is something that drives me crazy. When people that everything that they ever focus on is looking at the past and acknowledging. All right, cool. We've been acknowledging it for the past how many years? What are we gonna do moving forward? See, I'm always looking forward, right? I'm always looking forward because I want to know where I'm going. I already know, like, I know where I've been. It's in the past. I'm not going back to where I've been. I want to move forward. So, you're fired. You got laid off, whatever the case may be. But you let that keep you down and out for an entire year? I would be like, okay, well, I'm out, and on my way out, I'm opening up my contacts, the people that I know, the recruiters that I know. Like, why? I'm gonna say this: never, ever, ever put your livelihood in the hands of somebody else. Always have a plan. Always make connections. All right. So that's the first part that I'm going to say. Now, the actual question, what would you advise when they want to know why you left your last job and why such a long time in between? Well, you can share as honest as possible. Like if you got fired for doing something stupid, then you're going to have to like try to finesse that. You got to be like little Woody and try to finesse your way out of that. But you say like, the company was downsizing and, so now the question is, why do you have such a big gap in the middle, right? So I think that the gap isn't that big of a deal if you can actually explain what you have been doing in between that time frame. Now, if you approach it saying, well, my heart was broken because I really, really love this company and they broke my heart and I'm so sad and I just was sitting, I was just, being a tech pookie sitting on the couch, watching Netflix for a whole year, showering every other day, and I felt terrible and I didn't do anything. Then they're like, okay, it's gonna be a hard path. But if you're like, well, I was in this industry for so long, but I couldn't really, I was looking to get back in this industry, but I was like, you know what? I think it's time for a change. I looked at the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror, and it was time for a change. So I decided to get my skills up and to switch industries. So I spent this whole year living off my savings so I could level up, increase my skills, and not have to not put myself in a position where I'd have to be subjected to this particular industry. I wanted to expand, and now, unless you're applying for the same industry, then that's a different story. But you need to come up with a compelling story on why somebody should give you a chance. If you ask Alexis, don't give them any details, but I was like, when you're approaching your resume, here's how you have to get their attention. Oh, I'll leave it at that. What is a strategy? There is the thing that everyone says, and then there is the thing that we're going to say, so that you can tell a compelling story and you know what? Wow. I want to know a little bit more about this person. And that's the strategy we employed. We're not going to be copycats of what everyone else is doing. We're going to be unique and we're going to stand out. So you need to tell a compelling story on why you're not there anymore. Try to finesse it. If you got fired for something stupid, try to finesse it. And then try to say this is what I've been doing and that's why I haven't been working. Maybe you're taking care of family while leveling up your skills and you're able to do some freelance. I don't know. Figure something else out. Figure something out to make a compelling story. They can look past whatever that gap if you have a good thing to fill it in. All right. That's my thought. That is my thought. All right. All right. So that is that question. Let's wrap that one up. All right, let's get over to my people in the chat. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every single time that we go live. Check out the Patreon, www.techcoachralph.dev. Get access to free content, get access to coaching, all of that good stuff, right? So it says he's not worried about burnout, but talking about energy drinks. Well, Mitch, that's why I was never worried about burnout, because I had something to cope. But you guys ripped that out of my cold, dead hands.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
I hate it here. I want to go home.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Rod Brown says frozen. I'm frozen? Am I really frozen? Am I still frozen? I don't see I'm frozen. Let me see. Am I frozen? I don't see I'm frozen. I look just fine. All right. So, the question says, no such thing. Take too much PTO and you'll hear congratulations. What?
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Don't listen to Ralph about burnout. He's still mad about his energy. Damn right I'm mad about my energy drinks. I am I am so upset about it. Let's see. And I'll tell you this, right? I think Anton spoke about this. Spoke about it this morning with the unlimited PTO. It back in the days, people would not use their PTO, and they had to force people to use the PTO. Like you can like cap at 120 hours, right? So when people would leave, they would have to pay it out. But now with unlimited PTO, they can't pay it out. So it's tricky. It is tricky. Let's see. It says, I was thinking of taking 2 weeks off every end of the quarter. Is that decent? Good luck with that. I wish you the best with that. I do not see that happening. Let's see. And it says, I was told I have a top 15% resume. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm trying to push it to the top 10% as I get more experience. Clap it up for Ferris. Your says, that sounds good. Talk to your HR about what makes sense. They'll hint to you what they expect, or they might just keep you in the office and walk you out right then and there. I'm just saying it's possible. It is totally possible, right? Because
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Ferris has ordered my camera, so should come back on YouTube soon-ish. What about the soundboard? Huh? Oh, by the way, Ferris, I just noticed, like, because I haven't, like, on this new computer, I got the latest version of OBS, and because I use OBS for some videos, right? And now OBS has a way to share the audio from the Mac. So your soundboard will work just fine now. Like when you're doing like a soundboard, it'll play just fine. You don't have to do like all the crazy stuff that I used to do, which I wish I had that a lot earlier, but you don't have to do all that crazy stuff anymore. So you should be good on that. And so just filling you in on that. So it's going to be a great time saver. So make sure you update to the latest OBS and check for the share Mac audio. So just sharing that little bit of that tidbit with you. Let's see. Hopefully it looks good in low light. After dark will get better than ever. Awesome. And Don says, Ralph wrote a Fortran Selenium web driver. Are you saying that you wrote it or I wrote it? Because I know I did not write anything in Fortran. Ferris says, so what's the ideal pay for a startup? Rough range. It depends on what you're doing. It really depends on what you're doing. But you got, like, during the interview though, you got to get all the details as best as you can, because they'll tell you you're going to be doing one thing and then you get in there and you're doing like everything. So, and then here's what always gets me, right? When people aren't doing things well, and me, I'm like OCD and ADHD, whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'll just do it myself, because I feel like I'm wasting more time by people not doing it well because they might not have the same care. Then I'm like, all right, I'll just do it myself. And then I end up taking on this additional role of responsibility, but I feel a lot more confident by me doing it than someone who doesn't understand or know what they're doing, or they just don't care, you know? So that's what I'm saying. It says, they gonna make you feel guilty for being sick.
Bruh.
And first, I'm thinking of getting really good at automation. Welcome to the crew. And it says, otherwise, I'll let the work cook and request they hire an underling for me. And that's how you become the chief security officer. You see, there you go.
Best.
It says, I don't understand this question. Why does it matter if you have a job gap? I'm confused. So you're asking like, why do people care about it? Because they want to know what you're doing with your time. Like, it's not that it matters if you have a job gap. It's like, what have you been doing with your time? So if you have a job gap, right? Are you missing? So in my mind, I could be totally wrong, but I'm just thinking in my mind, maybe you are missing some industry trends. Like it's because guess what? People who don't have a job gap, they don't get the job either. And there's people who do have job gaps, they get the job. It's being able to articulate, okay, what were you doing during that time? Right? It's like, what were you doing in that time in order for them to understand? It's just like they're trying to understand you better to see if you're a good fit for the team. Being a cultural fit on the team is huge. I've seen people get turned down because they said the slide, like they made a stupid joke in an interview and they're like, nah, not happening. You know? So they're just trying to understand, like, what have you been doing with your time? Why would you have such a big gap in your employment? It could be a variety of reasons, right? It could be you were sick. It could be that you had a kid and you want to stay home with the kid for X amount of time. But and those things, like, I don't think that it's a negative. I think they just want to know, like, why were you not working? And if you have a good reason, they're like, all right, cool. So that's my thoughts from my perspective. It says, fill the gap. Exactly, fill the gap. Unless it's government, then don't fill the gap. Let's see. It says, the other side of that, I never been laid off, fired, but I'm speaking for my previous people. Some people let their job define them, especially if they have been doing it for years. I think the biggest mistake that we make is we let other things define us instead of us defining us, right? You got to define yourself. You can't let other people or other things define who you are. You are your own person. You should be a lone wolf, all right? I'm just saying, right? You got to be solo, dolo, just like Mitch. And for instance, if you work 2 to 5 jobs, lower the odds of layoffs. True. But the only thing about that, though, is, which, I mean, if you want to work 2 to 5 jobs, that's one thing. But I'm of the idea that you should always be looking to build your own thing as well, so that you have, I don't know. I just think that you should always be looking out instead of always looking towards someone to do something for you. Which it's not that a job is doing something for you. It is an even change. Like, it's an exchange, an even exchange, right? I'm doing work that I agreed to do for you. You're paying me what you agreed to pay me. But I always I still think that you need to have space to see what other opportunities are around. And sometimes, like, trying to work 5 jobs is going to take off some of those opportunities from you, which, if you were to build your own thing, in how much time, because I'll tell you this, right? I have some friends that they're very talented and creative, but they would rather spend a lot of time working these additional jobs, and they're not like full-time jobs like the ones that you have, Ferris, but they'd rather work these menial jobs where they're getting like $10, $12 an hour, when they have the creativity that they can make so much more, but they're not putting in the time to actually get better at what they're good at, you know? So that's why I'm always like you gotta find a way to exploit your talents, you know? Let's see. So home care always needs people. Cook, clean, and provide as a job is pretty good. People sleep on that. That's true. That is a good point. It says, Ruff, you can't just say go to your contacts network with all these layoffs going on. You might be an exception and a few others in the world, but that's not normal. Mitch, I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say, you, and by you, I mean the proverbial you, not you, Mitch, because I know you got it on lock. But what I'm saying, though, is that we have to be smarter, right? We have to be smarter in the way that we move. Like with all these layoffs, right? People still are reaching out to me and they're like, oh, well, like, are you available for this job? Are you available for that job? So the thousands of people who are applying, right, for jobs and they're not getting jobs, but people are still reaching out to people, to particular people. But why is that? It's because am I the exception because I put in the work to be the exception? Or am I the exception just because I'm the exception? I think that the way that I moved and the way that I'm teaching the tech barbarians is to make yourself exceptional. I am the exception because I've made myself exceptional. I'm not normal. I agree. I am not normal. But, you know, with all this talk of weirdness going on, I want to be weird. I'm just saying. All right. See, Mitch, you always go back to your roots. But you're getting there, Mitch. You are getting there. All right. All right.
Ain't believing us.
All right. So, and Ferry says, TLDR, BS the answer with confidence. Do what you can. Add mystique to your answer. All right, I got you. And says, my question is why they need to know why you have a gap. I think I spoke about that already. And pro tip, remove the dates from your resume. I mean, they can pull up your work history anyway. So, I mean, that doesn't really do much. Exactly. Should be none on their, none of their business. All right. Good luck with that. Good. So let me ask you this, right? How do you know they're even going to look at it if you remove all the dates? If that's something that they want to know, how do you know they're even going to look at it? I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. That PTO is true in regards to unlimited PTO. The company makes more money that way, or better yet, saves more money. Yep. That culture fit is true. But they know how to make money on their own? Some people don't want to do that. Well, Mitch, that is why. That's why.
It doesn't matter what you think.
And that's why I don't care. Like, if you are going to rely on someone else and then you don't want to, you just want to be okay, then you're going to get okay results. And then when times are hard and now you want a shoulder to lean on, I might have just hurt my shoulder that night in jiu-jitsu. Fair says, I agree. Build your own thing. Can be a job, just depends on how you label it. Career, job, hobby, all the same. To personally, just do what you enjoy. I'm telling you, like, I work from like 4:30, 5 a.m. all the way to like 11 midnight. Sometimes, like last night, I was up to like 1 o'clock in the morning, getting implementing the code for the new UI UX. So I'm just saying, like, you can do multiple things. But you just have to see what's going to be, what's going to benefit you in the long run. But like I said, you can do whatever you want because I don't care. I don't care what anybody does, right, Mitch? I'm going to tell you this. I don't care what anybody does. Just don't bother me with it, right? If you ask me something, all right, you should do this, and then you're like, oh, but I don't want it. Okay, fine, do whatever you want. You see, like that's just me. Like if you ask me for what I think and I tell you, and like, oh, you start complaining, I'm like, all right, cool. I don't care. Like do whatever you want. That's how I operate. So yeah, you know. Mitch about to get me in my fifis, all right? So, that's true. I can't help it. Oh my god, I can leave physically, but can't shake that mentality. Mitch, it's coming. It is coming, Mitch. Don't worry, it's coming.
We the best.
It says, how do they pull up your work history? I mean, Ferris, have you never done a background check on somebody? You've never done a background check on somebody? I can get anybody's information in like 30 minutes, if that long. Come on. See, there you go. LexisNexis, if they do, and there are other job reports they can run when doing a background. Man, I can, for free, I get like, just give me somebody's name. I'll find out a bunch of information about them. When I was doing bail bonds back in the days, we used to be on stakeouts. Like we had different systems that you can go to look up, because we're like, when you're talking about somebody owing on a $500,000 bond, you're gonna find out everything about it. We'll be like, oh, this person has a third cousin twice removed baby mama who lives in Seattle, Washington. Huh? We should go pay them a visit, because maybe they'll be there. You know, like don't have us come look. Don't have us come look for you. All right, I'm just saying. Mitch is totally right. LexisNexis for real. Says, oh, I think my LexisNexis is cleaned up. Ferris, we can find you, Ferris. We can find you. Like, don't. You'll see like, how are they on the Zoom call? Like, you sign on a Zoom call and you're like, what is Mitch doing on the Zoom call? What is Mitch doing here? I'm just saying. And says, bail bond snitch. Look, it is not a snitch, right? Because when we have to come and get you, that's because you have violated our trust and our assurance that you are going to show up to court. So we're going to have to put them hands on you. You know, we have to be like Mitch and show you them hands, right? I'm just saying. Says, Ferris says, my info isn't online. All opt out. Mitch, did he just say he opted out? He said he opted out. That's funny. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide, Ferris. You are in the database. You are in the database. Come on, that was cute. Let's see. It says LinkedIn, the most, to be honest. And you don't sign up for LexisNexis. It's like a credit report. Yeah, you don't sign up. They sign you up, right? Come on. And it says, yeah, my address and other stuff isn't on my credit report or stuff like. You got it, Ferris. You got it. Anyways, we are gonna wrap it up tonight. Let me see. How many questions did we do tonight? I think we did 7, maybe. Let me see. We did. Yep, we did 7. I think we'll leave the other 2 for next week. We'll carry that over. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate you all. We had an amazing night. So much fun. So many questions, so many answers, so many comments in the chat. Shout out to the tech pookies as always. So now, on our way out, if you haven't done so already, do me a big favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time that we go live. Check out the Patreon, techcoachralph.dev. Free content over there, our sprint reviews, as well as access to exclusive content and to one-on-one coaching, where I help you with everything that you need to level up your tech skills. Spaces are very, very limited at this point. So just letting you know, the top tier, the Tech Barbarians, is almost out. So keep that in mind. We do have some space in the Tech Prodigy. So if you need one-on-one coaching, it looks like companies are hiring, right? So be aware, if you need to level up, hit me up. All right. That being said, let's see. Let me read this chat before we go to my question to you. So Mitch says, must be a sovereign citizen. And even there in the database, right? And Alexa says, that's crazy. No privacy. All right, let me see. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Let me see if I can find this. Let's see if I can find that. I can't find it. But it was a meme back in the days when it came out. I think it might have been like with Snowden or something like that. And when it said like the NSA was listening into phone calls, right? And it had like a boyfriend and a girlfriend. They're on the phone, like it says. So the guy says to the girl on the phone, "Good night," and then the girl says good night, and then Obama says good night. So there's no privacy. There's no privacy. Then the both campaigns are getting hacked by foreign governments and stuff like that. There's no privacy. Come on, like don't. You can run, but you cannot hide. And versus, I would know because the Department of Defense gave the report. Okay, oh, the Department of Defense. The Department of Defense. Okay, all right, Paris. All right. Well, as usual, agree to disagree. Ferris. No one. All right, Ferris. Nobody cares. Nobody cares to agree or disagree with whether your information is in the database or not. So, because guess what? No one's trying to look you up, Ferris. No one cares. No one cares. And Ferris says, tech bookies rise up. And Mitch says, how you get your apartment. Mitch, see, Mitch, this is the part. This is the part where you pull back from your people. As soon as they say agree to disagree, I'm like, you know what? We don't even have to disagree because I don't care.
It doesn't matter what you think.
I'm just saying. It says LLC. You don't have to put in your name. But on the LLC, it has to have somebody's name on the LLC. Oh, come on. All right. They think, Mitch, do they know who they're talking? They don't know who they're talking to, Mitch. They don't know who they're talking to. You talk to Big Bro right now. They fighting in the chat. They are fighting. You guys want to come up and have this conversation? Do you want to come up and have this conversation? Anyways, it's a you hire someone. All right, I'm gonna say, you're right. I'm done. I got baited. You see, Mitch. You see, thank you, Mitch. See, Mitch, I got you. See, and that is why Mitch and I are step brothers. Says not rage baiting. Anyways, I'm out of here. So the question for you guys tonight is, as always,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I am very, very, very well entertained. And you guys know yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is certainly not tomorrow's price because...
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is always going up. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, we're going to be live. We're going to be going over some news articles. We're going to be going over, we're going to be pushing our application to the Google Play Store to be in compliance, all that good stuff. And then Thursday night, we're going live. We are going to see if I can build an AI clone of myself because I need some help. All right? So I'm going to build my AI clone. Maybe my AI clone can be overemployed. Who knows? We shall see. All right. That being said, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Tech Coach Ralph is out.